bottling all that up, that like aggression and stuff that people don't see, and they just see like the calm and quiet Monte. Like nah, like just how like the Hulk says in the movies, like people ask him, like what gets you mad or what takes you there, and his response was, "I'm always mad." Like I'm just it's always there, but I'm a strong enough and strong minded person just to like keep punching it down in my head to the point where like, all right, let me just pray on it, because if I don't, then I might do something irrational.
Something. But then when I tell them I'm doing Caribbean music, when they get out, they're like, Caribbean music? Man, what? I'm like, yeah, but that's why I never try to disclose like that street side. Because I'm like, I don't ever want to betray that to like my fans that's watching me, because they kids from overseas or, you know, from another city. Because I don't want them to see, you know what I'm saying? I don't want them to look at me as that. Because then the media portray you as, oh, he came from this, he's really faking.
They'll attach to that.
Yeah, they'll be thinking I'm faking. It's a persona, but it's actually growth. You know what I'm saying? It's growth that I changed and evolved, because I don't want my son seeing me how I used to be. Because then certain people look at people like that like a monster. They be like, man, I don't want to be around him. He got too much going on. Yeah, but it's like, that's why I never like talk about that side. Because I'll be like, it's relevant, but it's irrelevant at the same time when it comes to the brand. Because it's like, that's why I'm doing this now, to give that back.
Because at home, my mom, every time we would have a parent-teacher conference, all my teachers would be like, yeah, he's such a good student, he's smart, but he just doesn't talk. Like, he doesn't really assert himself in the conversation. And with my brother, it's the opposite. Out in public, like, he's the talkative one. He would get in trouble for talking to friends in class and stuff like that, kind of like misbehaving and everything. But at home, like, I'm the just straight comedian. I make everything a joke just to like always feel good in different situations. Like, I can make a joke out of everything. That's why I have like probably the sickest dark humor. I feel like that, like, a lot of times, like, I don't like go into that comedy unless I'm like with Easy and like our homies and stuff like that. Like, he already knows I'll say whatever, really. But at home, it's just like, it was just a comfortable space. And growing up, I didn't talk because I didn't feel like I wanted to like, I felt like the stuff I liked, I was stern on, like even from a young age. So I didn't want to embarrass myself in a way and put like the attention on me, because like, I don't know, at that time, I just didn't know how to like get out of situations other than just laughing. Really, if somebody's cracking on me in like middle school, high school, I'm just gonna laugh the whole time, and just like, because I always had like that like idea. All right, if I really say what's on my mind, A, I already know I'm about to kill them with whatever I say, and then B, I'm just not a confrontational type of person, so I'm not trying to like, whatever I say, I can't really be mad at how they react to it. So I'm just gonna laugh and let you get your jokes off, and then you go about your life. But whenever the heat is on somebody else, like, I kind of do like little stuff just to like take it off of them and put the tension back on me. Because that's just one thing I don't like, is when other people who I know can't take what's getting put on them. I just kind of, in a way, put myself between that and the situation. So just to take that, lessen the attention on them and stuff like that. But
you got a problem with bullies?
Yeah, it's like I can't do what I'm thinking because I just don't. I don't know. It's like I just turned 29 and I still haven't been in a fight, and like I'm just that type of person. I don't really. I would say don't really trust myself to fight, because I feel like, all right, if I fight this person, every time they see me, they're gonna be mad. And now, like, shoot, at this point, if I fight them, I gotta really do damage, and I'm not trying to like be taken away from my family and stuff like that and all that. So I don't know. I try to find a way to de-escalate everything and just doing that from a young age, it really helped me really like know all the ins and outs to different situations to get out of. And I don't know, it works out for me. It's like, but I do like bottling all that up, that like aggression and stuff that people don't see, and they just see like the calm and quiet Monte. Like nah, like just how like the Hulk says in the movies, like people ask him, like what gets you mad or what takes you there, and his response was, "I'm always mad." Like I'm just it's always there, but I'm a strong enough and strong-minded person just to like keep punching it down in my head to the point where like, all right, let me just pray on it, because if I don't, then I might do something irrational. And I have my days where like I have like those outbursts whenever I'm mad and I'm like in an argument with somebody, but it's mostly with family, and I try not to do it with family because my mom always told us like you need to treat your family better than you treat your friends. Like this is your family, but at the same time, still love everybody the same way. But don't do more for your friend if you ain't did the same amount or more for your family. So it's just yeah, I was just a quiet suburban kid, but in the house it was just a comedy special every day, all day. Like that's all it is.
Easy, you laughed when he said, laughing at myself. What made you laugh when he did?
Cause like when we together, man, this dude got no filter. Like for real. Like he do say what's on his mind, so it's kind of like funny hearing him say it because he says whatever's on his mind.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when we're around each other, that's how we gotta be. You know what I'm saying? We don't want nobody that's hiding nothing. They never. Those type of people you can't trust.
I'm not no yes man. I can't do that.
So that and you think y'all releasing yourself while y'all around each other allows y'all not to have to really go crazy on somebody else sometimes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. You almost gotta be honest. Like that's just how. Like my son is 9, so I tell him to be as free as possible. Because I feel like if he won't lie to himself about who he is if he's always being himself, speaking his mind. Like I don't want him to ever feel like he's gotta hide the person he really is because it's going against the norm of what society standards says. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want him because that kind of builds up anxiety. And I feel like
when we talk about who you are, who are you, or who were you? Because we don't know who we are when we first come out of the womb.
Yeah.
Who were you then? When your childhood, we spoke on his childhood.
So I grew up on 72nd and Truce. So over there by the Jamaican shop, where they do hair and everything down the street from Atlanta. So it was pretty cool. So I was my daddy was always working. He had like 3 jobs, so I rarely see him except for like him taking us to school in the morning or like late at nights when he was coming in. So my mom was really holding it down. Like my mom's my auntie, so I was raised around like women. So that's who raised me, like women and my cousins, and so I got to see what it was like, to have both parents in the inner city, but still my daddy was working. So mom had to be both mom and dad while he was at work. So for me and my little brother. So it was real family oriented. I got a big family, all over KC. So we all get together, and have that strong family bond. And that's how you get to know each other. You know what I'm saying? That's where the love comes from. I know like the hood and ghetto gets a bad rap. You know what I'm saying? From like the outside, but that's like where the most loving people is. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like we was Swope Park barbecues, you know what I'm saying? Barbecues out, block parties, shutting the block down. You know what I'm saying? And and then I used to go to my nana's house on 41st South Benton. She used to watch us too, like my grandparents and my grandma. So my nana and my grandma was the ones watching us, or we'd be at my auntie's house. So it was women that was raising me and molding me, but they wasn't like soft with us. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be. I feel like that's where the alpha in me comes from, because my nana really instilled that in me. So that's why I take with me every day. It's like her words, her, raising me and telling me how to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's about it.
How y'all get locked in though? That's what I'm trying. Because where do y'all find comfort in each other to where y'all have become what essentially best friends, right? Y'all brothers,
sure.
like
Sure.
So how did that come together?
Like I was saying, I was in the inner city. I was like 13 that I met him, like going to middle school.
Yeah.
And when I came,
8th grade.
Yeah, and I kind of remember him, and I was like, but he can attest to it. Like when I came to school, I was so used to a certain way in the inner city schools. You know how it was nothing but black people. My school was probably one white person.
Yeah.
Even the teachers. So I went to Central Page. So it was like trying to figure out. It was like a culture shock to me because now I'm around, different.
From Central Page to Raytown High School. So
now it was like a culture shock because they had juice, drinks, and that. But bro, even city schools, you remember, we didn't have. You went to Northeast, right?
Yes, sir.
We just had milk as a side. Like for a drink and everything, we couldn't get no waters. We couldn't buy nothing. So I was like, man, they got to get hot chips. They had vending machines. We ain't had none of that.
Mm-hmm.
All we had was like security guards in our school. So at lunchroom, it'd be a bunch of fights. And granted, at Raytown it was too, but it was just a culture shock. But I remember seeing him in the hallway. He was like super quiet. But we would always be in the same vicinity, like classroom, because he used to hang around us, you know what I'm saying? Like, because all the city people came to know Raytown, and everybody hung around because we knew each other. So it was like kind of a clique thing, okay. But he was around us too, because he still got family from there, just like I do. But it's like, oh, okay, yeah, he was cool. He never, you know what I'm saying, wasn't trying to, he was just being himself. That's why I really liked him. So I was like, oh yeah, bro, 100. Because you had some people that was out there already that was trying to be gangster.
Yeah.
And they didn't even grow up there. So it's like, I'm looking at them like, okay.
Yeah, and
they trying to put themselves to me.
From my point of view, I've always been a suburban kid. Like I've always been in Raytown. So I didn't know anything else. If it wasn't Raytown, then it was the ghetto outside of that I thought. It was like other than like Raytown at Lee Summit, outside of that, I thought all the other schools was the ghetto and stuff like that. But I still was, because if you're familiar with this park, Coleman Park,
yes, sir.
That's where all the street people go and play basketball. That's how you make yourself. You grow up. I've been going to Coleman Park because it's literally 30 seconds from my house that I grew up in. And me and my brother, since I was 7, he was 5, would walk up there. And we didn't start playing until we was like 11, 12. Actually on the court, we'll be around everybody, and just because like either Pop Warner football or school, like we would already know the people from like the city and stuff like that, aka like some of like the hoods and just all that. And my brother, he was more connected to like the street mentality, even though he's not a street person, but he has more of like a street mind. And with me, it's more like the academic, like regular suburban kid mindset. But because we're so close, it just went hand in hand. And I would teach him certain stuff, how to not react opposite of like somebody from the street who's like more known to fight. Because my brother, he'll fight. He'll shoot at you if he feels warned and stuff like that. I'm the type of person, I'm an extremist. So I'm either up or super down. And it's no in between. So I take the high road most of the times with stuff. And then when it's like super low, then like, because I was like the person in the shadows of everybody, like just quiet and moving around, I can get to like that devious, like, all right, I'll do this and make a chain reaction to something bigger that'll mess up something for you. And just little stuff like that. And eventually I had to stop it, but I don't know, it's fun. And going back to the school, I always felt like since middle school and 8th grade, like we were the same person, but different upbringings.
Meaning you and Easy?
Yeah,
okay.
Me and Easy's like he came from the city, and went through like that life, and then I'm like from the suburbs with this life. So how he takes situations is opposite of how I take them. So us being real close and actually knowing our real character, it was like, all right, cool, we can respectfully in our own lanes, but when we need to like intertwine and stuff like that, like we know how to like come together. Like we don't even have arguments. Like we just like if it was like a relationship where the couple, they were like, oh, we need communication for it to work. That's how it works in friendships.
Yes.
If you got communication, you're not gonna argue.
Yeah.
It's like, and then I respect his opinion, and I know he respects mine. So it's like, and then I'm not gonna steer him wrong from stuff.
Yeah, because he actually is the kind of one that kind of was like, because at first it's funny you say that because he wouldn't fuck with me for a long time because he thought
I stayed, like, even when I started photography, I stayed away strictly from like street people because I just know what it comes with just from
and he was actually with me growing up seeing it.
He growing
been
up
around situations that can
playing at Coleman
like,
Park.
Yeah.
If I never went to Coleman Park, I would have never seen people get shot at. I never would have seen guns before, fights, like brawls where the whole park is fighting. Like I would have never seen none of that stuff until like my mid-20s and stuff like that. So I'm glad like I got to see it from a young age and know right from wrong with certain stuff, but still have like I would say the courageous manner to like kind of dip in, experience some stuff, but know when to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
yeah, because it was like about a year. I hit him like a year. This is before I made that transformation.
We connected
you know what I'm saying?
After high school. We graduated. We reconnected in 2017.
Yeah, but I was hitting him up 2016 to work with him, and then he's like, "Yeah, bro, we gonna work." But back, I wasn't still. I said I was
stalling him out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I wouldn't. You know, I would hit him up like 2016, but we connected 2017. But 2016, I was still trying to, leave everybody that's behind me because, everybody I was with, that I used to hang with, like growing up, they went to jail. A couple of them died, but like most of them was in jail. Like damn near everybody I hung with went to jail. So I felt like the walls was closing in. So now it's me trying to, figure out, what lane I'm gonna take walking wise, like, because so when I hit him up, I'm like, hey, bro, we need to work. But I don't know if he thought I was still in that, like, mentally. Like, I don't know. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, bro. But I think he was in college then. I don't know. But I hit him up again, and he kind of like, oh, okay, bro. But then I told him, like, one day I was like, okay, I got to prove to him that I ain't on nothing like that. So, because I don't like putting nobody else in a situation that, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm that type of person. I'd rather just stay away. That's why I hid who I was from family for so long. But then stuff started to come out, and I had to, show them who I really was. And it kind of was like a shock to them. And this is why I hid it from, like certain people I was hanging with. My cousin was telling me, like, bro, you hanging with these people? And my cousin was going to jail, so I was out here by myself in the streets. So, and then people can attest to it. I was hanging around people like 10 years my age, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then coming to find out, like, the dude I was working with in the studio named B, he was from the 50s or whatever, Studio B. That's my dog, because he sat me down. Him and G. Watson was like, bro, because they seen where I was headed, and they actually was seeing shit. They was like, bro, you got to switch it up a little bit. Like, I remember them both having that conversation with me. But back then, I kind of didn't get it. I'm just like, okay. But now that I look back, most people that I was hanging with caught RICO charges. My cousin went to jail for robbery, assault. So I was like, man, I just look back like, man, damn. And sometimes it don't even feel surreal, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's almost like anxiety type playing with me. So I feel like that's where that comes from. Like, not really. Remember I told you about hiding?
Yes, sir.
Trying to be a perfect person for your family, but when they find out who you are, they start to judge you. Mm-hmm. So, but my family that knew, but, like my mom and daddy, they didn't find out until like later. So it kind of was like weird to them. To like, nah, this is what I work hard for to get you away from that. But I just had to experience it so my little brother wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? And what I did, and I feel like that, the stuff that I did back then, it seems like, I feel like it just makes me, stronger today. So I feel like I had to go through that to get to here. Because now I feel like my job is to, if I see a kid on the wrong path, or if I can help somebody, I can tell them like, bro, it's easy. I'm telling you, it might be hard. At the moment, it might feel like, you lost right now, but trust me, you're gonna find a way. But that's what got me like switching and everything, because he wasn't messing with me, so I had to book his flight to Atlanta with me. Like, bro, come down here. And he seen like, okay, from there it was like, all right, now we about to start working, and from then we just hit the ground running, and we just locked in ever since, and just everything just elevated every year.
And even before that, before the trip, how I really proved like my photography skills was I came to he had a photo shoot with another photographer in the city that everybody knew. And ironically, that photographer, Steez, if you was familiar with him, white kid, he was doing all the photography and the videos for everybody in the city at the time. And this is 2017, so this is a year after I started photography. I started photography 2016 on New Year's. I went to a pawn shop. I saw a camera. I was like, I already know graphic design. Like, I went to college for that, so let me just get a camera, start doing stuff with that. That'll probably get me more into the crowd so I can like be more outgoing. Because at that time I was kind of outgoing with the help of college. Because once I got to college, it was 3 hours away in McPherson, Kansas. And it's 45 minutes from Wichita State, 20 minutes from Salina. So after the first semester of like getting the feel of college, like then I was like, all right, I'm about to just start trying stuff. But and just I knew I'm just not the type of person where I'm not gonna be trying like hard drugs and stuff like that. Because I know the effects of it, and I'm not trying to be that type of person, be labeled that type of person. I don't care how good it feels to you, and like, because people say, oh yeah, I used to be on crack, and really it was just chasing that high from the first time that like I did crack, and they just chasing the high. But with me, like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna have self-respect for myself while I'm in college, but at the same time, my new word for life was experiences. Like, everything I do is an experience for myself. It's like, I don't care if it's a good or bad one, I just want to experience it. So going through college after that first semester, and at the time I just turned 18 right before I went to college. So really I can get into certain places, but I can't drink. But because of college and just like older people, you can get whatever you want, just like in the real world. So I started drinking, and I started going out Thursday through Sunday every week. And I was the type of person, college was easy, but just like waking up and like just doing stuff on your own, and actually like, all right, you don't have like a parent who can like take you to school and stuff like that. You on campus, you in a dorm. It's your responsibility to get up, go to these classes and everything like that. And just, I lived it up through college, doing everything but hard drugs. But everything else, at the time Vine was out, so I was big into like social media, trying to be like a Vine star and stuff like that. At the time, I didn't really know myself. I was just building myself off of the experiences and then trying to form myself. And then my junior year, after the first semester, when we was going to winter break, right before we went on winter break, maybe like a month before that, my roommate got into it with me and our other friend, who like at the time we were kind of like the Wood. It was like just the homies and stuff like that through school. And they're from my roommate, he's from Stockton, California. My other homie, he's from San Diego. And then me, I'm from Missouri. So I'm learning from them, they learning from me. We in Kansas, so we get the worst weather than Missouri gets. So I'm experiencing that, teaching them how to do certain stuff. And we just all got into it. And it was all fueled from drinking. Like, we all had like one of those like drunk nights. A friend did a certain thing that the other friends didn't like, that we didn't like. So two of us did our thing, let him do it. He got mad that we left him. And just for the whole month up until I left for winter break, I'm in a room where like the distance between our beds and our dorm that we were in like is the distance from us right now. So me and you,
Wow.
like me and my roommate, we can go like this, touch hands and stuff like that. So I would say from right after Halloween up until like what was it, like December 20th, I didn't talk to my roommate. We didn't talk to each other at all. And we in the same room seeing each other, like it's like you not talking to like your brother or your sister, and y'all in the same room for a month and a half, 2 months. So we was just doing everything like that. And then I still had compassion for him. Like I wanted to reach out to him, but I just didn't learn that type of like thing yet in life. It was like, all right, you make the first move, because if you don't, then it's never gonna get made. So once I left, like December 20th, I ended up getting maybe like 2 weeks later in the mail a letter from the college saying I got kicked out. And it was like, oh yeah, you can try to I forgot what the word is, but try to appeal the letter and the suspension. But so I did that. Literally, maybe like 2 days later, did my appeal, sent it back to them instantly, email, sent it to everybody that was on that letter list that made the decision. And instantly, an hour later, they was like, nah, you suspended for a whole year. Like, you not coming back. And I know it's because, like, my crew, like my brothers there in college, like, we were just like, yeah, we're going to go to college, but we're going to have fun. Like, it ain't nothing to do here. It's a small town. Like, it's an exit and you can pass it. So, like, we're going to do whatever. And they didn't like that at the school. Like, we would just do pranks and stuff, just nothing harmful. But it's like, people get to a certain age and they feel a certain type of way, like, oh, I'm an adult now, so none of that childish stuff should even come in my vicinity. No, like, I'm a comedian at heart. Like, laughing and joking around is my natural state. So I'm gonna be getting these jokes off, pranks and all that. And I knew it just had to be that. And just getting kicked out of college, I was like, well, I got to do something. So that year, 2015, I just worked a 9 to 5. And then 2016 on New Year's is when I got my camera. I was like, all right, by 2017, I want to be able to be that, like, at least one of the top photographers everybody talks about. And that was my goal, and I stuck to it. And 2017, I was that. And then my goal for that year up until 2018 was like, all right, I need to be that photographer, like that everybody, like, number one, like, no, we got to go to Monte and shoot like that. And that's when he came back around and we started linking up. And 2017, he had a photo shoot for an album that he was putting out, and it was at the Longview Mansion. And the photographer, Steez, he was doing the shots like that. And he just hit me. He was like, yeah, I got a photographer and he's going to be taking pictures. Can you do like behind the scenes photos? So I was doing the behind the scenes photos. I'm just right there next to the photographer. Photographer's like, yeah, I'm going to take these shots. And
it turned up being a main photo.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I'm going to do these shots. And then after me, you can do whatever, the cleanup shots and stuff like that. So at that point, I'm already a year and a half into already like mastering my first camera. So I'm like, all right, like, I'm a nonchalant mood. He does his little shoots, photos and stuff like that. While he's doing that, all I'm doing is just getting the lighting. As soon as I go into a different room that we in, and he gets done, and he's like, all right, your turn. Snap, 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 snap. All right, I'm done. Let's go to the next room. And he's just looking at me. He's like, let me see your photos, comparing them. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I'll show you what a real good one can do. And just from there, once he got all the photos and he was comparing them, he hit me. He was like, yeah, bro, I got to keep you around me. Like, we already know each other. We grew up and stuff together. Like, I got to keep you around. And that's when I really trusted him, like, had the utmost trust for him. when he booked my flight when he was taking a trip to Atlanta, and that was April of 2017, and that was my first time ever going out of state by myself, and because I would always go to I used to live in Chicago during the summers growing up until I was about like 10, 11.
Uh-huh.
So after school during the summers, I would live in Chicago, South Side or West Side, and stuff like that. And so that was the only time I was really getting out of state. But once we booked that Atlanta trip, I was like, all right, now like I really have a purpose of like doing this photography and like my content. And we just killed it. Like we meshed so well. It's like whatever he's thinking, I can already get it in my head and just produce it in the image. And we've been traveling. We literally talk every day. We've been talking every day since 2017 on the phone, texting, or just phone calls. Like no matter if it's about business, what we need to do next of marketing and what's our next trip. Like we're like, if we were like on a board of like a Fortune 500 company, like we're
it's
talking
meetings all the time.
Every day we talking, and we've been traveling. 2018 was when we really started traveling, and we made our way to. So we did Atlanta twice, and Atlanta was an experience. It's like it's true how they say like it's nothing but black people. And it's a feel good moment, but at the same time, to me, Atlanta feels like just a bigger, nicer Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
It's like here, like you see like the white people and stuff if you go to like downtown, but outside of downtown, and like the Kansas side is black people, black and brown people. So and then like we all like connect with each other just because it's a small city. We see everybody all the time. So eventually you start getting like you start building narratives on people, and then it affects your behavior and mood towards them. So for us, just traveling gets us out of the city, away from all those distractions. Because the main thing is just for us is not going back to what we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I was just a 9-to-5 working kid who got kicked out of college for having fun. And then he came from the streets, changed his life to put that away, be more of a father and stuff like that. And I commend him because
I gotta tell him like he can tell you. I tell him like, bro, if it wasn't for you, like kind of keeping me focused, bro, I'd be slipped. Because sometimes I'll be having conversations with him, like even off the music stuff, like just calling him like, bro, yeah. I'd be like, bro, it's just, he'd be like, bro, it ain't even worth it sometimes.
Yeah, because
like, you can't even double back, but sometimes it's addictive. It's like a thrill.
Yeah, I don't.
Like you get addicted to living a certain way. It's just like, he's like, bro, it ain't even worth it. We done work this hard.
Right.
You ain't, but when you got homies just getting out of jail, and like, bro, and then once you reconnect with that person, you be like, damn, bro. You be wishing you can go back to that same, I be having people saying, bro, we miss you over here. But it's like, I miss it too, but I can't really, like now people, like lives is different now. Like, I think that's what kind of tricks people to getting back in it, because you feel guilty because they pull you back in, but they don't realize they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, bro, we miss you, this and that, or, oh man, you selling it. Like, it's just a whole bunch, bro. I just kind of focus on it, everything outside of it. Like, because 2018, 2019-ish, we damn near stayed in LA. We was damn near out there every month. Knew our way around the city.
2018, 2019, we was already in LA 5 times. Every other month we was in LA.
Yeah. So it's just like you damn near stay out there because now you know where everything is. You know the politics. You know the people that's running the city or whatever. And then like when it came to 2021, that's when I got introduced to Miami. So then that's when I was starting to be a Florida boy. So now it's like Miami when we went down there together first. And then after that, just kept going down, connecting with some people down there. And then ever since then, it's just...
And that was our first, like, duo trip. Because usually he has, like, his cousins come with us. And we all, like, a tight-knit group and stuff like that. But this was, like, our first time, like, actually, like, just... Because all this has just been us two. Like all the content you see is like I shoot the pictures, do the videos, I edit all the stuff. He knows how to edit certain stuff that he wants when he knows I got a lot on me.
Mhm.
So he'll do it himself and he does the music and he comes up with the ideas. I just kind of perfect them in the way how like I think would look best with the visuals. And it was just, it really brought us together. It was like, because honestly, our whole experience since 2017 to now, we've already done the like quote unquote celebrity, like famous mainstream artist stuff. Like we've had the security. When he went to Miami, my mom's got sick in 2020, and then all of 2021, she was on bed rest from the job. She works at the job with us, and she's a mail handler. And so the whole time it was just me and my brother take care of her that whole year, all her bills and stuff like that, including ours. So I couldn't go on the last Miami trip that he was on. But he understood that. He was like, all right, cool. I'm going to have these people come, shoot the stuff. I'm going to have you edit it, if that's cool with you. He'll always ask me, he's like, hey, this ain't too much for you. He'll always ask me to kind of see, because he knows whenever I get down, like I said before, I'm an extremist. I'm either up, or I'm super down. So he'll know, like.
It's overwhelming because, you know, like he said, creatively, it's us too. You know, I'm doing the music, he's doing like the videos and photography. So I know how I feel, you know what I'm saying? So I know how it feels when you're overwhelmed, you got to take a step back. But me, I got that drive, you know, like, I got like, I feel like, damn, what is it called? It's like, I can't stop. Like, I got ADHD when it comes to working. And I don't want to overwork him because I'm not taking time for myself. But I had to realize that's why I didn't write as much throughout the year. I just kind of, when it comes, I don't force it. That's why I don't get writer's block. Because when you do so much, so, you know, at one time, it kind of blocks your thinking process and your creative process. So that's why I let him like, bro, if it's too much, just, you know, it's all good. Just don't even worry about it. That's why we only do a certain amount. If we working, we work here, cut the content down. We just working smarter now. We're not just working, burning ourselves out. You know what I'm saying? Because then that just like dilutes the creativity.
Yeah, and I compare my mood and like my like a lot of my characteristics similar to Kanye West. It's like with like my social media, y'all probably seen me quit photography probably like 6 to 8 times. Just do social media. Oh, I'm done. I'm quitting. I'm done with photography. Like it's just because like I wouldn't even say it's ego because like I'll help anybody with photography, like any lessons and stuff they need and stuff like that. But it's just like I just know I'm super good and this isn't where I'm supposed to be at and stay at. So I know personally I need to put myself out there more, but at the same time, like I'm like, well, shoot, if I'm feeling this way, so I'm super down. I'm just about to chill and not even work on nothing for 5 days. And then that's when I start getting behind on work and stuff like that, and I let my mind play tricks on me and stuff like that. And I just feel like I'm this good, but nobody's like locally here, and even just outside of KC is really like paying attention to me, let alone him. Like he's making the best music I feel like right now in the US, period. Is because like right now the music industry I feel like is just dead right now. Like it's no creativity whatsoever. And like you have like your artists who you know is going to give you that creative stuff, but nobody appreciates it because it's so much microwavable TV dinner music. Like it ain't like no like meatloaf pot roast type of like we building this and we gonna let it cook type creativity music. Everybody's just all right. Let's pop it in. Let's make this little money. Get a little taste. It ain't that good of a taste, but it's satisfiable. Like I'm satisfied with this, so I'm just gonna put this out, and whoever messes with it. But nobody's really. I feel like nobody wants to have a legacy anymore.
Mm.
It's like they just want the here and now.
Yeah, what's hot now?
The here and now fame, the here and now celebrity, the here and now money. Like I get like, yeah, you can do whatever you want in your life. That's for y'all. And you can spend the money as soon as you get it or you can save it. I just want to experience as much as I can and as much as I wanted to. So with that, like it's
like legacy, like you said, like I know me and you talked about that, like with Pac, like the thing I was referencing earlier, like that's like my biggest, inspiration, like as far as like him as an individual, like that's who I feel like I connect with the most. And like I was saying, like it's all about legacy. Once you get why the world works the way it do, just think like Pac, Shakespeare, Leonardo da Vinci, you got who else? You got Michael Jackson, you got Prince, you got certain people that's like and Michelangelo, like bro, the people still go to like the 16th chapter to see his paintings he did 500 years ago. And we talking about them, it's 500 years later. And it's like, damn. And that makes you think like, what's life really about? And it's legacy. It's leaving a legacy behind and really, figuring out what your purpose is and walking your destiny. And I feel like with me, that's all I care about. That's why I'm creating so much content. And my music is different now. Like what got me started into like the Afro world or whatever, I got put on by like a famous Nigerian producer called Mastercraft. My boy Lily, he's from Nigeria. He kind of connected us and he's seen like, hey bro, I want you to meet somebody. Because he seen the direction I was going. And once I met him, it was like a hazing. Like, we want to see if you really fuck with our sound or if you're doing it just a hop in, hop out. It's a gimmick type shit. You're trying to make a quick buck. So we in Tamba Hali's basement, the Chiefs player.
Yeah.
We was in his basement or whatever. He had like a little studio area. So Mastercraft comes in and he's like looking at whatever, like, who is this guy? He's like, what are you? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, you need to find out, first of all. Then he said, let's get to work. So he pulls out his laptop, looking at me and, shit like, pull up some beats. He's going traditional. So I'm looking at him like, oh, he must don't know I'm about to do work.
And I'm just sitting there, like, okay. I'm just my head down, just listening. Like I already know he go crazy.
Yeah. So he's like,
everything. So I'm just gonna let y'all experience this.
But now. You know how like Africans get around. That's they sound. They hold it.
Yeah.
Dear heart. You know what I'm saying? They don't want nobody to fuck it up. So and I feel like they accept me more than anything, knowing that like, oh man, he's really. You need to find out where you're from, because bro, this shouldn't be that easy to you. So I'm like, all right, but I'll let y'all know in like about a month or two. Y'all know, I did the ancestry thing, so I'm gonna really find out like where it's coming from, because even Mastercraft said, bro, it shouldn't be this easy for you to do it and sound the way you do. The languages, the melodies. So we doing it whatever he put on the beat. He's like, all right, next one. Like each one just kept getting more traditional African. So now it's Congos, and I'm like, damn. So I'm catching him. He's like, bro, he stops and he said, bro, who is this guy? Who is he? He was like, oh my God, brother, I love you. He was like, you're going to be bigger than Drake one day. Trust me. Just keep working. He's like, oh my God. And my line, bro, he's just like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh shit. Monte, he was sitting just like that. Straight face. Because he already know. No, yeah, he knew. When we walked in, we had a conversation going there. I was like, bro, I was like, yeah, I meet him. Just want to show him like, yeah, it's not a gimmick thing. This is me creating from the soul. And I feel like that's where the music is coming from. It's like something in me is just pushing this music out.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's coming from, but I feel like that's when this is your destiny, because it's coming out smooth, with no hesitation.
Yeah, and every song, like, he's not like that. Like how you hear artists, they be like, all right, I'm just going to be in the studio 12 hours and just lock in and make all these tracks. And you hear artists, they be like, oh yeah, I did like 8 tracks in the studio last night, 15 tracks.
Mm-hmm.
He'll book a studio for an hour, 2 hours, have 2 solid songs that are hits. And then from those songs, he like, all right, this is what we're going to do with this song, all the content and the rollout. We roll out everything. Mm-hmm. I feel like even if you big, you should still roll out. Mm-hmm. Like we're not, it's cool like to like give your fans like some kind of benefits whenever you drop like once you're that big, to drop like a out of nowhere album like Beyonce did and Drake did, stuff like that. But I feel like you should roll out everything so you touch bases on your marketing, on your analytics. He taught me how to do that, and it helped me with my photography and everything with that. As far as like he like a master marketer, he knows exactly.
And I don't know how, but it's just something about the marketing thing is what I'm good at, and I feel like that's how I got my fan base off of just understanding people. And I'm big on psychology, so I know like okay, this is what's gonna catch them. Okay, this is how. Okay, I kind of give us like a deadline, just like the labels and everything. So it's real business structure. So I know I have certain things planned out, like even from the food shows, like building a network. And I want to build an ecosystem around us to where people can come and see a hub. They got interviews, they got documentaries, they got food shows, you know what I'm saying? They got music. It's a whole entertainment hub, you know what I'm saying? No Regrets Music Group, and that's the label, you know what I'm saying? We building that up, you know what I'm saying? And like even with the, getting the name established, shout out to, the homie Drake, because he was telling me like, damn, there's so many Eases around. We want to separate you from, because when I first came out, it wasn't just Easy's besides Easy. But I mean, like online, it wasn't just Easy. You know what I'm saying? But then as the year started to go, it was more people. So then music was on my profile. So people they was taking my listeners. So I'm like, wow. I'm like, damn, bro. I was doing what, $35,000 a month on Apple Music. So I had to be doing 60 on Spotify, 60K, like just listeners. So then I had to change my whole name, and I feel like that set me back. He was like, so I'm like, he's like, yeah, well, we gotta think of a name. So I was like, Easy. He was like, Easy something. And I was like, well, people, the girls back, the Spanish one, Papi Chulo. That's what we started with. Like they used to write under my comments when I used to propose, Papi Chulo. And I'm like, oh shit, because of the shirts I used to wear, you know what I'm saying? It catch their attention, like the floral shirts to give that Caribbean vibes, because all my fans are either from the Caribbean or they're from, Africa. So, and Europe too as well, but more so, the traditional, Africans and the Caribbean people. Yeah. So he was like, bro, that's it right there, Easy Papi. I was like, let's stick with it. So we went through a whole rebranding thing, and I feel like that kind of made people, it was weird because people was like, who is Easy Papi? It kind of switched over because they was like, damn. Because mind you, if you listen to somebody that you've been listening to for like 3-4 years and they all of a sudden go through a name change. I see A Boogie went through that, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of hard. It's kind of hard, but I'm glad I caught back quick, Thanks to him, shout out to him and, the homie Al. They helped structure my, we work with a publicist named Tally out in California. She kind of shifted everything, got my Google Knowledge panel the right way. And shout out to Chris Whammy too, because he's the one that got me on the power on Breakfast Club Radio. Him and the homie Flip, he's a DJ. And Whammy and Chris, we still keep, we locked in like that. That's who I'm kind of, working with as far as like on the marketing side, as far as like the entertainment. Because Chris Whammy, he works with the labels directly. The labels hit him to push to the radios, DJs, and everything like that. So yeah, and then with Tally, she had the blogs connections. That was the publicist. That's who I still work with to this day. Tally Spencer, she has like the Remix magazine and everything. She's pretty dope. And usually, man, and then like when I be in Miami, I just connected and people connected with the music. And then once we got down there, me and Dre, we set up certain things to move how we wanted to move, because he was matching every dollar I was matching. So he was able to move like the celebrities was moving. Being everywhere in Miami that they go, you know what I'm saying? Meeting people, my same security. I got the same security as Jake Paul and had the same security as Floyd Mayweather. So I feel like you can build relationships with security. They used to tell me all the time, bro, your energy is great. They was giving me, cutting me deals just because off of my energy and how, I treated them with respect, and they knew I was real. So, just going down there, doing everything, it's all building an ecosystem, bro. It's just, I feel like that's what attracts people to certain, I
feel like we got the best out of everybody trying to do music in this city, and even like just all other cities, but mainly this city, we have the strongest foundation.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people in this city, they're lazy. Like if like this is something that like you're somewhat good at, I don't even care if you not that good at, but if you still have like that motivation and goal to do it, do it. Like even if you quit, still go back to it and mess around and stuff like that. Try to see if you still like it. And if it's still natural with you coming back, then keep doing it. But these artists, like, they don't have an identity for themselves. There's like they picking from somebody else's, and then putting their face on it. But that's why I haven't connected to another artist here in this city outside of him, because like nobody has like shown or proven to me like you actually want it. Like I don't care. Like he doesn't get no love in this city, and I always told him, your hometown is the last town that's gonna ever show you love. So,
but it's kind of confusing to them because they used to see me one way.
Yeah,
so it's hard for them to accept. You know,
and it's almost like they still want him to be that.
They do. You know what I'm saying, bro? We miss you. You know, we still got homies just getting. I mean, bro, my homie just got out 8 years. He talking about some, bro, let me get a feature. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what, bro? Like, come on, man. I'm like, bro, you know, he's like, nah, we can do something. But then when I tell them I'm doing Caribbean music, when they get out, they're like, Caribbean music? Man, what? I'm like, yeah, but that's why I never try to disclose like that street side. Because I'm like, I don't ever want to betray that to like my fans that's watching me because they kids from overseas or, you know, from another city. Because I don't want them to see, you know what I'm saying? I don't want them to look at me as that. Because then the media portray you as, oh, he came from this, he's really faking.
They'll attach to that.
Yeah, they'll be thinking I'm faking. It's a persona, but it's actually growth. You know what I'm saying? It's growth that I changed and evolved because I don't want my son seeing me how I used to be. Because then certain people look at people like they're like a monster. They be like, man, I don't want to be around him. He got too much going on. Yeah, but it's like, that's why I never like talk about that side. Because I'll be like, it's relevant, but it's irrelevant at the same time when it comes to the brand. Because it's like, that's why I'm doing this now, to give that backstory. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just to, but other than that, bro, I really don't like express it, come off as, you know, this dude, the street dude. Or I don't really talk to you about, and this is what I did, this how I ride. Because it don't matter, bro. Because for me, like Dame Dash said, it's about hustling for your last name, not your first. That's why I feel like I'm doing it for my son's grandkids. Like I want to build like generational wealth, like the Rockefellers and everything. Like I want to bring that. You know what I'm saying? Like I really, and we talked about bringing culture to the city, and I feel like we the culture.
Yeah, because it ain't. I made a post on Instagram saying this city doesn't have any culture outside of sports and barbecue. Like everybody talks about barbecue and stuff like that, and we don't have like a iconic
global, you know what I'm saying,
type of figure, like a person or people for this city. It's like people always bring up Tech Nine and stuff like that. When have you ever seen Tech Nine do like a strange music backpack drive, toy drive, like charitable things? I don't care like if you do it in your own personal time, but usually if it's like a habit of you doing this, people are going to like talk about it and stuff like that. So I want us to be like, I've been giving to charity since 2017 when I was with this clothing company, like doing the photography and stuff like that. Like we'll raise money, and then I think we raised $700 for the Girls and Boys Club, and we personally took the check to them. We didn't film it or nothing. We was like, hey, we did this. Like we know how it is to grow up and not really have people, so this is us like helping out and stuff like that. So, but we don't have like that type of figure here in the city. It's like, yeah, everybody talks about Tech Nine, but that's because like I feel like he doesn't really help nobody, really, let alone his own people on Strange Music. Yeah. Like it's no Strange Music Tech Nine presence in KC. Because if you come here, nobody talks about him.
When I say culture, mind you, I'm not talking about we don't have nothing here. You know what I'm saying? We got hella culture here. It's just when I say we the culture, we trying to, and it's other people that's doing it, but they're not doing it on the level that we doing it outside of the world, like outside of the U.S. and Europe, all over the world. They're bringing it here. They're like, man, you can't sleep. Like, yeah. They're like, oh man, damn, I thought you was from like an island or somewhere, or you was from Africa. I'm like, I mean, but this is where I grew up. But my thing is, like with me and him, we have the culture here. Yeah. It's just bringing it to the forefront. We need somebody that's gonna bring it. If I was still doing, you know, the street rap and everything, if I was, you know, in the streets, I couldn't show the cultures of different ethnicities and everything like that, or going to like different food restaurants like Wagwan, like the Jamaican. People don't know it's a lot of Jamaicans here. It's a lot of Africans here, like a lot of Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a melting pot. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, you know, white people here. It's a lot of people. So my job is like culture-wise, okay, outside the city, I want to show them we can also be a New York. We can also be a Miami. We can also be a LA. You know what I'm saying? We are. You know what I'm saying? But it's like people don't see that. But we need a global store to be here for people to be like, oh, they do have this here. That's the reason why I chose to tell him, like, bro, I go to Wagwan all the time. I connect. Most of my friends are Jamaicans, Panamanian, Puerto Rican, and Nigerian. So why not just show like, oh man, this is what people's like, man, you need to start recording what you do. I'm like, oh, okay. I was going to Wagwan like every Friday. I go there, get the same thing I was eating on the show. Either the side of jerk and the oxtails, red beans and rice. I was like, man, you know what? I told her, I said, I like this place. I said, how about we link up soon and we do something? She said, okay. She thought I was, I'm all about help. I'm for the people, like Pac for the people. Michael Jackson was for the people. Prince was for the people. Fela Kuti, Bob Marley. Like everybody like that, like DMX. You know what I'm saying? Like those people, that's who I always talk about. Because if you're for the people, that's going to keep you longer. Look how long we talking about Pac. And it's like, whether it's good or bad, it's like no matter what, people are still going to be thinking about him. We're talking about him. He's going to get compared. So my thing is just, if I can just help her out with exposure, she can help me out with my brand because this is what I do. And it's like natural just to show people like, this ain't no gimmick, man. I'm all in. Like this is how I'm living. This is what I'm about. This is what I eat. If y'all want to come here, just come here. Just give him, showing, it's just help me help you type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we have the culture here in KC, but it's nobody here that's like a big figure that's helping push it up. Because nobody was really stunting on Toronto till Drake came.
Yeah. So we need somebody to push it up and bring it together. KC can be like New York. Yeah. How like New York is like a melting pot with all those people, but they all help each other. KC can be that. But the bigger powers in KC, like the actors and the music people, I guess Tech9, they don't really, to me, they don't care about KC. They rep it because that's the hometown and people there, they need to keep that crowd in their hometown, but ain't none of them really doing nothing outside of, I don't care about like if you doing a charity by yourself without like cameras or cameras and stuff like that, that's fine. Outside of charity, what are you doing just like giving back, touching the people, like having conversations with people? You don't hear it. So me and Easy are going to be the representation for KC locally. If anybody got a problem with it, we well respected and on the street side, the suburban, what people call the white areas and stuff like that. Like we well respected on our own right in KC, so we gonna be that representation where we gonna get big. We gonna bring people with us. You can't bring like a lot of people in certain situations, but you can at least bring like one person, even if it's not directly helping them. You can pass down that opportunity and let them do their thing in it. So as long as you're doing that, then shoot, I feel like we're doing more than Tech and anybody else who consider themselves a face of KC.
I just care about those ghetto kids that was like me. You know what I'm saying? The people that was in the inner city that did, like now they're taking away the Boys and Girls Club, Thornbury. They're taking away everything. You know what I'm saying? Like events that we used to go to as a kid, they taking everything away. So it's like not really much to do. You know what I mean? I remember when we was in the city, I remember Tony Gonzalez coming to see us and stuff at, you'd be like, damn, man, this is real. As kids, it's all black kids. We seeing a figure that's like black and brown that really can do this. Yeah. So I want to be the inspiration to show people like, man, I got pictures, videos and stuff like from back then that my pops has, you know what I'm saying? To show like it was all family barbecues that swope, you know what I'm saying? The block parties in the city, shutting it down. Even the neighbors was cool, you know what I'm saying? I just want to give back to kids just to show them. That's my biggest thing. Because if they see somebody that's in a city that they can actually be around and all that, take pictures. Like my family and people can tell you, like kids attracted me for some reason. Because it's like, I want to pull them in and show them like, like I give them, I'm going to get the kids hope. That's all I care about. Because what everybody else think, like that's my age, your age, and, up higher. Like I do it for the kids because they're going to be the next generation after us. Mm-hmm. So the more we build them up, the better this city going to be. So if they see me doing this, it's going to be more kids that be like, oh, I want to do what he's doing. Or I want to do this show. Or I want to do this type of music. Or I want to get into this lane. I want to do this. And they see like, oh, and then I can be that representation that's coming through the city. And they seeing that I'm actually successful. Then they can be like, damn. They can look at it and have something to smile about. Or be like, oh, we got a celebrity in our city.
We don't only have to be rappers in KC. Yeah. That whole rap dream is dead. Like if you, at least in KC, I feel like, because like, it's just, it just comes with a lot being a rapper, especially in KC. Like you have to actually, like if it's not the street stuff, it's a small crowd for like the alternative type rap and stuff like that. So this is showing you can do other stuff outside of rap. You don't have to be
just taking that risk.
Popular off of in KC off of rap.
Yeah.
So, but I know we had Tom, but I just want to personally like thank you. I want to personally thank you for even just seeing this in us and like giving us a chance because like
it's a chance for me too.
Yeah, because like we all about like helping people and getting our story out because you don't ever really see me in any of the content, but I just want to. I'm glad we did this and people can finally see us together because they think we the same person. I don't understand why, but but yeah, thank you personally for this. Like this is really gonna like be there a treasure.
I think we need like a 12-part with y'all. I got to do more because it's so much to touch on.
Facts. And which one is we? Is it this one or this one?
It's
all of
that
them.
one.
Yeah. That one right
was
here.
Your main one.
Rule number 1: follow your dreams because one day you're gonna make it. Just remember that. That's all I gotta say.
You gotta close it out too. You gotta hit your close out too.
Really, honestly, if it's getting to you, your career, whatever it is, and you feel like you gotta quit, just stop, delete all your social media, and then go to sleep.
Get out of the matrix.
Once you wake up, however you feel from that is how you should take your career. If you still feel the same way, just dead that career, find a different hobby. It's endless hobbies that y'all can do. If you wake up and you still got a little bit of that passion left, just relight it. Put that lighter under it, light that flame, keep pushing. Because when you think it's your last moment, that's the beginning of your best moment. So,
and I'm gonna have to get you out, to do like a certain. I'm gonna have to get you out to come, get that Papi experience in Miami and do an interview, bro. Sit down and get like the whole. I'm gonna have to get you down there, bro, just to get you and do something like this and just get you with the vibes and everything, so you can see, like how it is. And then now you got the shirt on right, so it's like you're gonna be vibing when you get down there. So
I asked him, "Did y'all have some merch?" And y'all do got it, but it was too late. So I said, let me kind of go grab a shirt real quick.
That's like perfect, man. That's like perfect. Yeah. So like when I get you down there with the Papi experience, bro, you're gonna be like, oh, it's real. Yeah. Because people don't realize this is real. It's not a gimmick. This is how I am. Yeah. But like even it's just like you'll see it be pineapples and fruit all over the table. Might be a chef coming through, drop some down. You got people in the room. It's gonna be views. You're gonna be like, man, this is nice. But yeah, we're gonna do it again, bro, for sure.
The goal is to leave a lasting imprint on their mind and their hearts. We pray you've been indelibly marked. Man, that was easy as shit. Listen, I didn't do that on purpose.